Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you right now. Hello, and I'm glad you're able to make it to this video and learn some things today. Um, we are studying our last topic for the school year. There are 3 lessons remaining. This will be the first, and the topic you're studying right now is biodiversity. Okay, biodiversity is one big giant word made of 2 smaller words. And so the first part of that is bio, which means life. And the second part of that is diversity, which just means variety. So if you put that together, biodiversity is a variety of living things. There are 3 different types of biodiversity. There's species biodiversity, ecosystem biodiversity, and genetic biodiversity. We're going to talk about each one of those separately here. The first type of biodiversity we're covering is species biodiversity. And if you look up species biodiversity on the internet and search for images, you're going to find something like what you see in this picture here. And you have all these different types of animals, and it's really biased because animals are not the only type of species that are in this environment you're looking at. This is an environment with a bunch of different savanna animals. You have gazelles, you have zebras, lions, elephants, camels kind of out of place. So is the bear, but this is only representing the animals that are in this particular ecosystem. And so actually a much better picture would be this one here. And so here you have single monkey. I don't want you to just think about single monkey. I want you to think about the other living things that are in the photo. What other living things do you see? You see a lot of different plants. And you have to think about not only what you see in this picture, but what you don't see. And so down within the soil, there would be all sorts of insects. There's microorganisms in the air, bacteria, viruses. All right. And so species diversity really means all the different species that are in a given ecosystem at a given time. Everything that's there, seen and not seen. If we wanted to go ahead and give a definition for this, we could write that down. We could say all the species, let's make it visible. Let's make it white. All the species in a given ecosystem, seen and not seen. Okay, it's pretty good. The second type of biodiversity, ecosystem biodiversity. I want you guys to remember the succession video that I made for you where I talked about rainforests and deserts and all the different types of biomes or ecosystems that exist on Earth. And so pointing out a couple of those, you have maybe the tundra here with pine trees, you have your desert, your rainforest there. This is probably the taiga. You have the ocean. Don't forget freshwater. And then our biome, of course, the deciduous forest. I'm going to bring you in a different picture here. I'm going to make this bigger for you. Let's see. Let's make that bigger. All right. This is a map of the different biomes on Earth. And you don't really need a legend. It's not really important to know which one's at which at this moment. It's really a very crude map that everything has very finite boundaries. This chunk up here of North America is purple. This chunk here must be the deciduous forest. And really, I don't understand how the deciduous forest goes up into like Alaska, but that's what they're saying. A much better map is this one. If you take a look at this guy, I'll make him bigger as well. If you take a look at this picture, you can see where there's really no finite boundaries to the different types of ecosystems or the different biomes. So what you have in our area here, okay, this light blue, you'll also see some of that over here on the Eastern Hemisphere. All right, so these biomes are not just in one location, they're in multiple places. If you look down here at South America, you have a similar biome down in the coast of Africa. The bottom line is that there are a variety of different types of ecosystems in our world. That is a good definition for ecosystem biodiversity. So if I make another definition here, this is or the variety of different ecosystems in the world. All right. All right, so the last type of biodiversity we're going to talk about is genetic biodiversity. I have here a picture of kiwi because awesome. Look at all these different types of kiwi that I had no idea existed because we only get one kind in our grocery stores, and that's these bad boys right here. Look at all these different types of kiwis. They have different colorations, different sizes. This is differences in their genes that makes them slightly different from one another. And I have so many cool pictures to show you. You have corn. Look at all the different kinds of corn. Unbelievable. I've seen corn of different colors before, though. And I've also seen dogs of different types before. But have you seen differently colored carrots? Look at all those carrots. I think that's amazing. And you've all seen a million different types of peppers before, right? Like, look at all these peppers. These are all examples of genetic diversity. Look at this one. Potatoes. Insane. Oh, and don't forget people. So if you could define genetic biodiversity, you would have to just say something about there being a different, let's see, variety of genes in each species. Within each species, there are a variety of genes. And that went off the screen, so let me pull it down. Within each species, there are a variety of genes. On this last slide, there are 6 big threats to biodiversity, 6 big ways that living things can be affected by their environment. The first one of those is climate change. The second is losing your home, habitat loss, or if your habitat becomes degraded, degraded, somehow you lose that habitat. Pollution is another example. If I pull this up, invasive species, overexploitation, and other threats such as disease are another set of examples. I want to go back really quick and just explain that invasive species are species that did not come from a specific area but are there. So for us in Illinois, we have the Asian carp. We'll talk about that later. Exploitation. So if an animal is overhunted, that's what that would refer to. So